Hello,
Hello. You'll get
my
a
name
chance.
is Fred Ord, my first time caller.
Fred, first time participant. Welcome to the Cinco de Mayo edition
Oh
of
my
Drinks
God, I
Professionals
can
Network.
see I'm in with a rough crowd.
That's right. That's right. This is what it's all about. Well, welcome everybody. Fred, you're going to experience something that most of the people on this call have experienced, and they keep coming back, which is it's free to participate, but it's priceless. It's free to join, but it's priceless to participate.
Okay,
What we endeavored to create is really that next generation of networking, truly developing relationships,
sure.
helping each other. And this started out as a COVID alternative to no conferences and all that, but it continues with a core of people who make it 80% of the time. Maybe they don't make every month, but they make an effort. And I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I will for a minute. For me, Stephanie and I, collaborate on this. And Stephanie's real day job is she's the general manager of Real Professionals, which is a professional networking group for commercial real estate. And so this evolved out of, I had participated in the development of Real Professionals. The founder of it is a good friend of mine. And so Stephanie kind of inherited me when I said, hey, I want to do this for the drinks professionals, especially early in COVID. And I didn't know what to expect, and we weren't sure how it was going to go, but it's still going strong. So Fred, tell us a little bit more about your story and where you're coming from, and pick us
All
up.
right. Well, I'm in the heart of wine country in Huntsville, Alabama, so that's a good start. But I've been in the business for many years, as you can probably tell by my gray hair. Was one of the first people to bring in New Zealand wines back in the late 90s, which was like, what? New Zealand? What are they? I mean, I thought it was just full of sheep anyway. And so now, one thing led to the other. And as you said, I mean, networking is critical in all of our careers, and is such a, before COVID, you'd go to trade shows and bump into people and, hey, you got to, and now this is fantastic. But I don't know if anybody can see this, but this is a paper bottle for wine. So we are in the process of setting up a plant for this in California to supply the wine industry, which has a huge, sustainability goal for reducing the carbon footprint of, heavy bottles being shipped all over the world. And especially most wine is consumed within, 48 hours of purchase. But anyway, so I was really interested in, I know it ties in with spirits as well. But so we're in the packaging marketing business for wine brands, and we work with different wineries.
And just to tell you how the global impact of this group is, Michael Clancy, who has just joined us from Ireland, he was the one that introduced the topic of the frugal pack.
Perfect.
In our last call. So it's
great.
We're always looking for those kind of innovative elements. Yeah. You've got a mix of people who are suppliers, but also producers, brand owners. Pixie Paula has just joined us after an absence for a while. She's gonna have to have a lot to catch us up on. So thank you for joining on that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I should probably nip in here. So I'm from Frugal Pack.
There you go.
Bottles.
There's Paula.
And it was Michael who asked me to join today with the view to kind of telling you a bit about it as and when you're ready. So just thought.
Well, and you know what? Paula knows a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah. So I guess while we're on this topic, before we do our usual, we usually do kind of a roundtable, but let's just dive into it. Does anyone have specific questions on this in terms of cost, availability?
My first thought, Michael, is that the paper bottle, I would think, would change the taste of the wine. I know obviously it doesn't, but that's what I would think.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. We use a food grade liner, which is it's a equivalent to a bagging bottle. It is because we want to use recycled paperboard as the outer to reduce the carbon footprint. But at the moment, in order to do that, we need to have some form of liner. You can't do it otherwise. And so at the moment, that's the way we're going. The benefits of having the 83 gram bottle versus what 400, 500 plus, yeah, is it's the lightness for the weight, for transportation, and for the filling. It just means that we could get the product out there into the market now, as opposed to waiting. We can't wait. We've got to get this out and have an alternative to glass out there readily available. So it is the first commercially available paper bottle, and the main points of it really is to reduce the carbon footprint, which as we all know in sort of wine and spirits, it's the packaging and the transportation is sort of close to 50% of the carbon load of the whole.
Harry?
So there was a brand who did this before, and I think it was actually called Paper Bag, because I had a comparable product to it going back about 8 years.
Paperboy.
Paperboy. Yeah.
Our nemesis.
They had a red and a white, and then we actually came out with something similar, but we actually had a plastic under the paper, but they had Paperboy had leakage problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was also a pulp bottle, wasn't it?
It's like egg cartons.
Yeah.
What?
I think it was actually, I mean, it's before my time here, but I think it was Fugelpack and another guys. The founder was the founder of Paperboy, but he was more of an innovator, an ideas person, as opposed to being able to bring it to commercial situation. So I think there was a parting of the ways.
I mean, no, it was launched. It was broad market product.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Yeah,
No, it did. Yeah, no, it came through, but I don't think it was able to do scalable, and actually followed through and actually did the job it was supposed to do. So what we have now is a very different bottle.
Is it true that I heard a brand pitch from one of the box wine innovators when I was at WSWA, and one of her talking points was that wine in the box, because it's got the liner, that the wine doesn't go bad, like as if a bottle is open.
it's like 6 weeks.
Is that what it
Some
is?
say 4 and some say 6. It depends. I mean, the whole purpose is not having air, so it doesn't oxidize.
Right.
Yeah.
So that the air doesn't, because in other words, the inner liner retracts.
Yeah,
It shrinks.
It's like vacuum sealed.
Yeah, vacuum.
Yeah, I don't think once opened, I don't have exact figures on how long the wine stays drinkable for, but in terms of shelf life, the wine, we've got a minimum of 12 months, but we're seeing closer to 18 months for wines, and that was tasted on a very delicate or light Ortega white wine. Or for spirits is closer to 2 years for shelf life. That once opened, I wouldn't say it's quite the same. I mean, I imagine it's kind of one sitting on a bottle. I should buy a box, wouldn't you? I don't know.
Is it being used by any spirits brands at the moment?
Yeah, we've got this one is Distillery 98. It's half shell vodka. That's they're in Florida, in Panhandle, and that's being distributed through Breakthrough Beverages currently. And we've got several wine brands. There's a Signal 7 in Michigan. They have 4 different brands. You see how they're completely branded the whole bottle, which is one of the USPs, because you're not stuck to a label, it doesn't fit, but they've got 4 different SKUs. They're in Trader Joe's. Yeah, Trader Joe's around Michigan and Detroit, I believe. We've got there's some Demon Rum, which is in Vegas. I believe they've changed their legislation or coming on soon to ban glass bottles in the casinos. You probably know more about that than I do.
Yeah, and some of them in Reno.
Yeah, we were talking last week last time on that topic, Breckenridge, because they are banning plastic, and I think there was even water for water bottles. So that the idea,
Yeah.
I think we also got another wine commercially available on the West Coast. just a few, not so many. And then also I believe there's a Spanish wine, again, the Eco, it's from Bodegas Movedro, available in America. We've got some more coming out, but can't quite show you those yet. Every day there's more things. We have I should sort of say that whilst we're producing bottles from here in Ipswich, we have the machine has a capacity of like 2.5 million a year. So not huge when you compare it to glass, obviously it's tiny. But our business model really is to sell the assembly machines to people so they're close, be put close to where they're going to be filled to further reduce the carbon footprint involved in transportation. And that purchaser can then source the materials, the board, they start life flat, the board, the printer, the liners and all the other components locally, because we don't add value to that. And so it's kind of, and then there's a royalty, a manufacturing license that we have a royalty of 8p per bottle produced. So it's in our interest to keep that machine operational and help everything. So it keeps it. So that's the main idea, is to get it to make the bottles close to where they're going to be filled, which is a bit of a game changer, I would have thought.
So Michael, are you considering doing it? Because you brought this to the group.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm considering doing it for one or two of our SKUs. It's on my to-do list to get some graphics over to Paula so we can do a kind of an initial sort of trial bottle to get a look and see what it actually looks like when it's branded up. And then that will allow us to kind of I suppose see if we're happy with it and see what some of our customers and distributors and stuff think of it as well. So that's, yeah, definitely considering it. It's a busy time of year, so it's and I've been talking to Paula on and off since, I suppose, February on this. I think this time, but just with various things on it, it hasn't progressed but that's purely from my side. But it certainly looks like it makes more sense now than it did when we looked at it a couple of years ago, because of the way glass has gone from a price and availability point of view. We've all, and I think it's come up in every session we've had on here about the supply chain issues around glass. So this is something that's, possibly could go some of the way towards alleviating that for all of us.
I'd be interested, Paula, if I was just trying to click on sharing in the chat, but I looked at acquiring this equipment a couple years ago from a group in Canada, and then same thing, pandemic hit and everything, but I am actually searching for it now. So I would look, I'm more interested in actually purchasing the equipment.
Okay, well, that's something myself or maybe Fred could help with. We're looking to helping to discuss further the purchase of the machine. I think it's around about $1.8 million.
About under 2.
Is that under 2? Yeah, it's around about, I'm not sure the whole conversion, sorry. And there's about a 6-month waiting list. Fred is very much leading like on one particular purchase in the US that we hope to announce shortly. But our first machine sale is going into Canada later this year, a company called Kinsbray Packaging. So they're in Ontario. So they will be operational by the end of the year, and to actually kind of source the bottles there. But I'm happy to follow up later with you, Pixie, on other information.
That's great.
Where are you located, Pixie?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
That's great.
Striped Pig Distillery, local choice spirits, cannabis business.
Oh, excellent.
Everything. So Paula, on that note, catch us up, because you always have a bevy of balls in the air.
Yeah. Always. always.
There's a lot going on for sure. Oh, right now we're getting ready to celebrate our 10th anniversary for the Striped Pig Distillery in Charleston. That'll be on June 3rd, which happens to be my birthday. And I love when the synergies happen, that it's like, really, that's, that the numbers all line up. I am really focusing on, we're doing a $10 million expansion at the distillery. So it's been just driving what we want to do in the distillery to become the, I don't know, social media, innovative technology, entertainment hub of the South, with
Nice.
everything from a built-in studio for performing artists for full movie production to simulators, an amphitheater, and then giving our artists the opportunity then to be on a bottling line and promoting their liquors at the same time and cutting their videos and then streaming live within the space. So we're just trying to combine, you know, one full circle operation. I am working really hard on some releases that my press release will be coming out that will be an ambitious slate of Web3 technologies in the alcohol industry, from creating an e-commerce opportunity for the consumer to each have their own liquor store within our base, to build and promote and sell products that they will get instantly rewarded for, and just structuring the fulfillment centers to be able to manage 1,000 new e-commerce stores for the promotion and sales of the liquors on our portfolio. So that's taking a lot of time with my India groups. I formed a partnership and a partial merger with the Sizzle Factory and the Illusion Sizzle and the Illusion Factory, which were, you know them as Marvel and Warner Brothers. And working on creating a gaming platform of the Striped Pig. We've created, separate from Striped Pig Distillery, stripedpig.com. So we're moving into the Striped Pig as being, think a glorified Babe in Charlotte's Web out in the universe as an interactive gaming platform with a Web3 wallet that's so seamless that every child could manage this, along with all the adults that are still trying to come on board with Web3. So we're moving. This will be a publicity stunt to just have a counterculture created around the Striped Pig, separate from alcohol. In fact, their goal is, oh, and they have a distillery too, will be like the afterthought. So we kind of shifted into mainstream, using the Striped Pig as a way to interact with every household. And that augmented reality will come out in about 8 weeks. We've been working on it now for about 2 months. And if you can think about a game like Candy Crush or any of these games that people play, I'm not a big gamer, but my mother sits and plays solitaire and Bing and all kinds of things all day long. So for people that are big into gaming, you know, the Striped Pig will have the opportunity to get this little piglet that you adopt, and then you raise it, you accessorize it, you share it with content. Fancy holograms come out of the ability to scan our labels now, so that you would have the ability to do selfies or videos that you then share. And then through our interactive e-commerce space, everybody's getting rewarded and paid for actually sharing. So it's pretty disruptive, Web3 wallet type disruption in our alcohol space. So we'll see what's gonna come out of that. I've got a couple of celebrity brands in the marketplace that are gonna launch.
You hit it on the head when you said you had very ambitious plan. That is very ambitious. I'm curious in terms of if you're doing the Striped Pig outreach as a brand, and there are obviously underage consumers who will be part of that. You know, how are you preparing for the backlash of, you know, hey, you're really trying to sell our kids on booze?
All right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And so that's why we separated Striped Pig Distillery and created stripedpig.com. So the messaging of the Striped Pig is really more about empowerment, and it won't really have anything to do with spirits. But the Striped Pig as a household name, you know, if people do their research or it comes up with Striped Pig Distillery, it's kind of no different than anybody else building an alcohol brand, right? It's like we're out there, we're promoting and building, and then we have these interfaces that say you must be 21 or old to enter the website, right? It's kind of craziness because it doesn't really protect anything. But
Oh.
yeah, I look at, I've been preparing for under the Joe Camel law, just preparing for exactly that. It's not like our pig is drinking a glass of bourbon, like Joe Camel was smoking cigarettes, right?
Right.
So our pig is doing kind things in the universe, you know, and it's like, oh, and that pig's great grandfather, you know, was a piece of US history. It's not even about the distillery, right? It's striped pig in US history. So if you look up what is the value of the striped pig in US history, it's more about a movement in, you know, prior to Prohibition and the temperance movement was the 15-gallon act, which is where the striped pig as a political force originated. So
Wow,
yeah.
they say you learn something new every day. You're right.
It's exactly. All right, so that's pretty exciting, Paula. Anyone have anything new and notable that they want to do a shout out on?
Yes, I do.
Of
Hi,
course
guys.
you do, Vanessa. Of course you do.
Vanessa Braxton here. Yeah, it's been pretty busy. I do want to announce, it was announced this morning that I am making the the Isley Brothers brandy and vodka. So yeah, it's called Ron Isley Liquid Gold. It's a brandy XO. It's called Contagious and a vodka. So I'm their official, I'm the official distiller. He announced it this morning. I got connected to the Isleys through my cousin Trina Braxton.
That's the Isley brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So they
man,
were
okay.
I know. So we came up, I named the bottle. So I came up, he's planning to come out with releases of different songs like Summer Breeze. We're figuring out what flavor profile that'll be. Shout, you know, the iconic song, and Twist and Shout, so different things. So they were here at my distillery 2 days ago. They've been in New York this whole time. And, you know, they are also gonna be the distributor in St. Louis. I helped them get their license. So they're in the liquor industry. They got a TTB wholesale license as well. So they plan to distribute brands in St. Louis, Missouri, and, you know, do good things. He's 81 years old and he's still touring, and he's still, you know, he's iconic. It's just like amazing when they came here. So we had a good time and we're forging a relationship, you know, through family. So that's one. And then of course I have coming up in New York, my Juneteenth. Juneteenth is coming up, so I have another rendition of a bottle. And this year, hopefully I'm opening my barrels. I'll have my mahogany whiskey and my coconut whiskey coming out the end of this year. And I'm opening a second location. I'm doing a contiguous. I'm in contract with another building that I bought. So I'm expanding. And that's pretty much.
Is that more for production? Is that more for production or more for retail?
That is going to be for retail, because this place is total for production. Remember, I don't have a tasting room here. So, you know, and I do DTC, you know, direct to consume, you know, I could ship out, but that space is going to be a tasting room. I'm going to get another still. That's what I'm working on, right? Designing another still. Tasting room, retail. It'll have the teas, the cafe.
Where's it going to be?
This Huntington, Huntingtonville, Huntington, because you know I live in Huntington, so it's in Huntington, 7 miles away from this distillery. So that way I'm doing a contiguous. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just tired right now.
Yeah.
And then
well, I'm gonna pop in and visit, because I'll be up in that area late June.
When?
Late June? The last week in June.
Okay, good, because then we're having an event in Brooklyn, so you can come to. It's called the Taste of Black Spirits. I want you to come up. I sit on the committee for that. It's June 29th and the 30th. It's going to be like 100. I don't know how many brands, but you know, this guy is doing the Taste of Black Spirits, so that way he can expose a lot of minority and women-owned brands.
Yeah.
And so we brought them to New York. I'm helping them get their marketing permit so they can sell, sell on premise and sell, right there on the spot and get exposure. Then we'll be doing one in Long Island, and then we're doing one in Chicago. So I'm sitting on the committee with that. Pronghorn is involved. The guy, the accelerator that's backed by Diageo. So they're involved. They actually sponsored the event, and they asked me to be one of the guest speakers. As the only Black woman with a still in the U.S.
I love it. Michael, don't forget to take photos when you're there. We're going to need to hear all about it.
I am. You can be pressed and stuff there. I'm not into all of that. I like to go behind the scenes, but it's definitely good. So, I'm looking forward to that. And then in a couple of weeks, I got to go to Missouri to do a photo shoot with the Isleys. This is not me, so I got to get hair, makeup.
I think you're going to do just fine. All I have to do is turn the camera on and you'll be just
right. So it's gonna be my moment, but it was all good. I'll send you guys some pictures, so we're just, getting it all together, which is great. So
great. This is a very good get. So that's great. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. So, and they plan to bring in other brands, like be a distributor for other celebrities. They want all the celebrities to come to them. And I said, as long as I'm the distiller, I put that in the contract.
Well, Paula has celebrity brands that's plenty of them, right?
I would love to support you and help you. We should talk.
Oh, definitely, Paula, definitely. I'm right here.
We have been waiting for the two of you to meet.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
that would be like to be the fly on the wall for that one. For certain.
Look I built the first diversity brand, and I put the first African-American female on a magazine in the South.
Yay.
So my magazine is Skirt, and we're celebrating our 30th year as the first women's empowerment magazine in the US.
Well, you need to have me on the cover of that magazine, because still on their magazine.
Oh, no, I didn't do this recently. I did this 10 years ago, which was a big deal.
Oh.
But I'm saying, yeah, there were no, you could not put African-American women in a magazine. Yeah.
In Charleston, South Carolina.
And not
that's right.
Yeah. So
listen,
I was bold.
this is nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I heard congratulations. I heard you going on your 10th year. I just had my 10th year in February. So I hit 10 years in February, and time just went by so quickly. So congratulations to you. Yeah, definitely. Where are you located?
Well, I've been in the business, Charleston. I've been doing this now for 18 years, but this particular distillery, because I own 4 distilleries and 2 breweries and 1 dispensary. This particular one is 10 years old, which is the first distillery in South Carolina, by the way, since Prohibition.
Oh, so you got a dispensary?
I do, yes.
All right. I grow weed in California. I got 15 acres. Yeah, Paula and I need to talk.
We do need to talk. So look, I'm doing all my edibles. I'm cross-branding my distillery with my edibles. So my edibles are all flavor. They're in the flavors of my vodkas, my bourbons, my gins, my rums. So my edibles are the same. Like this one happens to be watermelon vodka flavored.
Nice.
And then we put them in the little barrel, and then cross-brand the striped pig.
You can do cannabis in South Carolina? Or is that CBD?
I can do that. Yeah, my partner is MUSC Hospital. No, that's THC. Those are Delta 8s. Our new Delta 9s are federally compliant everywhere.
Well, good, because I got a ton of these sitting here. I'll drop you 1 or 2 kilos, girl. I got you. We legal in New York, okay? I got a license. And if anybody else want, hit up Black Mama. Look. Okay, cool.
All right, well, this is great. So here's cheers to the women pioneers on this in this group. Right?
Hip hip hooray! Yeah.
Cheers. And I noticed, Tony, yeah, you've been nosing something. So.
Yeah,
What do you
no, and congratulations again. Happy Cinco, everyone. I'm actually drinking some of the best of shows from the TAG Global Spirits Awards. This is the Extra Añejo from Tequila San Mateos, which a lesser known brand. We also have Siete Leguas here, who won Best of Show Blanco. Last year, Best of Show Reposado, one of my favorite Reposados. But when I was listening, I was like, I obviously people calling me to sell me product at the restaurant at T-Mobile all the time, and they show up to taste me on their product, and they show up with these plastic glasses that they want to taste their product in. And I'm like, it's a hard enough sell already. The fact that you've got my time, I've set some time aside, we're going to taste your product, and then you don't show the product in the best light. And when we set up the TAG Global Spirits Awards, we went through every single tasting glass imaginable. And we said, well, we like this, and this is good for whiskey, this is nice for tequila, but we need a universal glass that plays across every category. So we worked with Steelite International, with Rona Glassware, and we designed the TAG Ultimate Spirits glass. And I would love to send Pixie or Vanessa or anyone who's got a distillery, who's selling spirits, who's making spirits.
Yeah.
I'd love to send you a set of my glasses just to try. And I'd love to put them up against anything that you're currently using, but really, really showcase your spirit. You can't pour it into a plastic glass. You have to have a great vessel. Like I said, I'd be flattered to send you a half a dozen and just let you try them out, see what you think.
Oh, absolutely. I'll
No,
definitely.
it's kind of like not quite a version of the, but with a stem and just a, it's like a mini, it's like a sherry glass.
It's kind of like a copita. Like I said, when we sat down with, must have been close to 100 different glasses, port glasses, sherry, grappa. I think, is that a Glencairn that you have there?
Yeah.
Great glass for whiskey. But when you're judging across a broad array of spirits, you need to have one glass really that showcases tequila as well as it does whiskey, as well as it does vodka. And we're very proud of this glass. And like I said, if anyone would like some, I don't know the best way to get a shipping address to me, Michael. Get those. Anyone who'd like some, I'd be happy to send you a half a dozen and just let you try them out.
At a distillery in Connecticut, I'd take you up on that, and you'd have to knock me off of my mason jar for drinking everything.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I can't compete with the volume of a mason jar.
That's right.
Yeah. If you give me like I said, the best shipping address, I'll drop some in the mail for you.
Yeah. Maybe Stephanie, do you want to play point on this? And maybe if everyone wants to just send your shipping address, she can keep it organized and just send Tony a
a list. Absolutely. I'll include that with the follow-up from today.
That'd be great.
Be helpful. That'd be great. Again, happy Cinco, everyone.
Yeah,
Happy Cinco,
Cinco, happy Cinco. All right, so
but I am wearing my Cinco.
Oh, she's got the Cinco gear.
I'm definitely wearing the shirt.
You guys are all on the sauce early today. There's not going to be any work done this Friday.
Somebody said that to me. They were like, Cinco de Mayo is just one of those made up American holidays so that you could, it's a drink all day. And I got to tell you, I was in London a couple of years ago on Cinco de Mayo, and it's one of my favorite days. I do not know why. I love Cinco de Mayo. I just love it. And I went to like 15 different Mexican restaurants trying to find a Cinco de Mayo celebration. I'm like, surely I'm in the epicenter of Europe. There must be some great things. No one had ever heard of Cinco de Mayo. And then I was like, no one heard. This is an American thing. Like the Mexican Freedom Day has nothing to do with our May 5th. So unfortunately, it's pretty funny, right? And then it made me think, like, we should just make up a lot of drinking holidays then. What's holding us back?
In the UK, they're very much into May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you, which is kind of
It
like
was
Star Wars.
yesterday. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe the reason the Europeans don't do the Cinco de Mayo is because it's celebrating the Mexicans kicking out the French.
But not really. That's the whole point. It's not on that day. So
Nothing-
it is not.
On Cinco de Mayo, that's what's celebrated.
Nothing
Cinco de Mayo
really is.
It's not a Mexican house. I went to every major Mexican restaurant, even in Mexico. And my
But it is
Mexican
a Mexican holiday.
but not for what we think of it, right? It's not the whole.
Yeah,
it's a
everybody thinks it's
different day.
Mexican independence,
Yeah.
It's not, no.
and it's not. That's in September.
Yes.
But it's
Either
turned
way-
out to be a boon for any Mexican restaurant and for the tequila purveyors.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
By the way,
I've got a bunch of, that's why I'm here early today. You guys have me drinking Raicilla, because it's Cinco de Mayo, so I've got like 5 events today on my calendar here in
Yep.
California. So yeah, we're busy. It's good.
That's good.
I'll be having a margarita this evening with some mezcal. My nephew was traveling in Mexico recently, and he sent me a message saying he was drinking some really good mezcal. So I said to him, well, make sure you bring me home a bottle. So anyway, I have a bottle of mezcal in the drinks cabinet. Just
What agave? Do you know the agave that it is?
It's not. I'm in a different part of the house now. Not that my house is that big, but I'm in a different part of the house, and I'll have to run off again if I go to find it. I'll dig it out, and I think I have a picture of it here, and I'll tell you what I have. Just to show you here, these are the 2 glasses I was talking about.
Yeah.
So these are a custom designed Irish whiskey glass, so they're really, really good. Couple of interesting things about them. The shape of this here, talking about Star Wars, the shape of this is based on the Skellig Islands down off Kerry, which were used in one of the recent Star Wars movies. But it's actually really good. It's kind of an ergonomic thing.
Wow.
So
Ooh, look at that.
Does the glass
There
really
you go.
good. They're crystal glasses. They're really nice shape for nosing, and they have a decent sized bowl as well. So the kind of word is the Irish are a bit more generous than the Scots, so you can put a decent pour in this.
A good pour.
But they're a lovely glass for tastings and stuff. And they also have this little cruet glass. So to Tony's point about giving people stuff in little plastic shot glasses, we switched to using these instead when we're doing tastings in our distillery. So it just kind of elevates the experience. But they're a nice little glass for for a small amount. If you're just doing a tasting, if you have the 5 samples or whatever lined up in these ahead of the tasting, it's really good. So yeah, maybe that's a glassware nerd out is maybe something, Michael, to talk about.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the base is very cool.
It really is amazing if you take the same spirit and you put it in 5 different glasses. It's
My God.
experiences. You wouldn't think the glass had that much of an impact on the overall assessment and enjoyment of that spirit, but try it. If you have never tried that, try a rocks glass, a wine glass, a sherry glass, 5 or 6 different glasses, same spirit, same amount in each, and you'd swear it wasn't the same spirit.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. If I'm tasting kind of professionally, if I'm doing tasting notes or something, I'll use an ISO wine tasting glass. Typically, is what I will use, because it just that's my kind of standard for doing tasting notes, and I find it gets really good. Get kind of really good sense of the aromas out of it.
When I watch Yellowstone, I always pay attention to the whiskey glasses they use, because they've got really great whiskey glasses. I think they're probably all Rydell brand, different designs, but there's always this really big crystal glass in everybody's hand. Cool. All right, let's see who has news. Let's see, Ryan, what's new in your world? How's your podcast going?
Podcast is great. There's been a lot of great response about it, but the Worldwide Shipping Express they're about to make their announcement, being able to ship alcohol. And the difference between them and FedEx is they have partnered with UPS, but you have an actual sales rep and one human being to go to, versus having you know, FedEx Air, FedEx Ground, and all these different partners. So they will be able to ship globally for brands, B2B and B2C. So I plan to hold a webinar for them, and I will invite you all to come and let them speak about their offerings and how they operate and how they're different, how they're staying competitive. I've asked them to create a value-added resource program as well for referrals. So people can start building on a residual level, just to have for, you know, any partners that you all have with brands. So I know a couple of you have reached out to me directly, but plan to hold a webinar for them. So I have a meeting with them on Monday to discuss, and then we'll announce that. So everyone can try to get their online shipping available and into the hands of consumers a little more easily. So I have a client that's trying to ship, you know, via Drizzly to Disney. And it's just,
oh my God.
Are they operating in Ohio yet?
I'm sorry?
Are they operating in Ohio yet?
Is Worldwide Express able to ship in Ohio?
Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they're global. So as long as their license and your license is good. So we'll put them on a call and allow everyone to ask questions, and they'll be able to get back to us with the answers. But what's great is that they have actual sales reps, which is one human being that you go to, and then they will deal with the shipping partner. So that's great. They're partnered with Trackhouse Racing, which Pitbull owns half of. So they're deep in the game, which is nice. But so far they seem intelligent, and they're getting the answers to any questions I've had, and their quick response time, and very professional in their department. So feeling it out for us, but so far it's good.
I had a meeting with them as well, and they were very responsive. I was assigned like you said, an agent, like who, you know, and they were very helpful in strategic ideas about shipping as well. And they were formerly a NASCAR partner. I'm building a brand with the Indianapolis 500 right now. So they've got good connections in esports, which is one of my targets. But so far, so good. I haven't done any business with them, but I had a good experience on the call.
Yeah, they're waiting for their approval. And that's how I got brought in, was through the NASCAR element, through Trackhouse Racing, which is they sponsor Trackhouse Racing, which is Pitbull's race team. So yeah.
I'd like to get information on that too, because I ship internationally now through UPS, through a program that I partnered with UPS with something called Zonars. Actually, UPS paid for it. So I definitely would like to, and I just got I have a customs broker. I have a broker license in Canada that UPS hooked me up. Like I could ship to myself in Canada. It's like weird. And also the UK, because I've been shipping to the UK and to the UK Commonwealth. So I definitely would like to be interested in a program, because I'm bringing on several brands that I want to fulfill to ship overseas, because I do it already. So
well, it's a disaster. I mean, we've talked to them about a couple labels and just tweaking things, because when you deliver, you know, just a box of even, you know, a 16 pack, whatever it may be, and it goes to the front door and someone signs for it, great, but they're not delivering to the right department. And trying to track down one box of product, especially through Disney, I mean, it's a nightmare, because no one knows what they're doing, because they're just going to the front door and getting a signature versus knowing to go to the back, going to the food and beverage, like, you know, so they are responsive to tweaking a few things on their labels and whatnot to accommodate the industry and getting it in the right hands, because dropping a box of product off at the front of a grocery store just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, I just shipped to Costco's in British Columbia. They have 19 stores that sells liquor there. So they're picking up 2 of my SKUs. But when I shipped, it was through Zonars, which is through UPS. I shipped to Canada, and everything was taken care of on the back end with the brokerage. And it got right to Costco's, to whoever the person was at Costco's, right to their food and beverage.
Good. Yeah, Worldwide Express is just waiting for their permit. So as soon as they can announce that and everything's in hand. So
Yeah, put me on that call. I definitely like to expand, definitely.
I think a webinar is just the easiest way, and let everybody ask questions after it's over and just get everyone on the line at once is probably easiest. So that's the game plan there.
And are they looking at sort of less, I mean, pallet loads or just a few cases, or what kind of?
Anything. I've talked to them, everything from a box to a container.
To a container,
because getting it out of Mexico over to New Zealand, I mean,
yeah, no, that's good.
The shipping is A, insane on pricing, and then B, the time frame. I mean, you just watch it sit in the ocean like this.
I know.
During COVID, we all, felt like it was a game of like, is it moving?
And you say that's a consortium of, is that a UPS back thing, or is it a group of Worldwide Express?
Worldwide Express is the company, and the partnership is with UPS, or UPS on this.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
And what I've noticed in the past with dealing with FedEx is that they have ground, air, freight, like they have just so
international,
many, and nobody communicates with one another. They're not in sync with one another. Like, it's just been online shipping for people who can. It's just brutal. So hopefully this is the solution that we all need.
They're following it end to end.
Well, the challenge I'm having is even when I line up everybody, it's still illegal to ship out of some states and into some states. So even if you have a carrier who has the licenses to do it, and we're still doing it under the radar. My fear is that we get a slap from the TTB that says, I don't care if you were able to deliver this, you're still not legally allowed to, right? So for me, I very much play by the rules because I definitely try to disrupt the rules. So I play to make sure. And, my advisors are, no, you have to move this legally to a retailer and then have a managed fulfillment center move these products out. I have an alcohol license with just regular FedEx right now, the FedEx alcohol that I got approved for, but still they will confiscate a lot of the products and return them to me and say, yeah, you're not legally allowed to even move products into this state. So the more you do, and we do a lot, I get panicked because of just that thing. I'll get it sent back saying, even South Carolina will say, okay, yeah, you're allowed to legally move products into 10 states direct to consumer, but in South Carolina, we're not allowing you to move it out. So so I have to get it to a distributor who would then get it to another distributor out of state. So it could go to a retail fulfillment center out of state. So I can get it legally to my end user.
Okay. I will check with them and we'll hold the call and we'll see if they can answer any and all questions and put fires out. I mean, they're on a mission to take it over. So let's.
Good to know. Good to know.
Let's let them do some heavy lifting, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Earn it. Brian, what's new from your perspective?
Hey guys. So I've been on the road a bit the last couple of weeks since we last talked. I was down in Texas for a while. I went to the Texas Whiskey Festival, which is a very cool event. I don't know if anybody's ever been to that one, but it's smaller than a lot of the bigger whiskey festivals. And they had a VIP night on Friday, which was really cool, where basically long tables, like farmhouse style. And then they have 12 tables and they've got 12 distillers, and each of the distillers will come to each table throughout a couple hours in the evening. And the requirement of Jake, who runs the festival, is that they have to bring something that's not available to the general public. So everything you're drinking is, some barrel pick that they recently got that's not out there yet. So the first 6 were really good, and then the last 6 kind of all tasted the same. But it was an awesome event.
Was that you or
the? To me, yeah. So well, because they're bringing multiple expressions, right? So you're getting, and there's 20 minutes in between. There's 20 minutes that they're with you, typically you're getting 3 or 4 tastes, and then another 20 minutes, 3 or 4 tastes. So there's a lot of alcohol consumed. But awesome event. So I don't know, I just wanted to say if anybody has a chance to get down there for that one, I think they do it every April. And it was really well done. And then I did get to, this is the first time Pixie's been on when I've been on, but I got a chance to go see her in Charleston, I guess about a month ago. And yes, I've known Pixie, I don't know, 5 years probably we got introduced, and she's always got something else coming down the pike, which is awesome. So I actually can't wait to see once your renovation is done, that campus is going to be unreal. So congrats on everything you've got going on.
Thank you.
And then I think the other thing, we just onboarded a non-alc yesterday, and I know that obviously I'm aware of non-alc and the rise of non-alc, especially with the younger generation, but the thing that I thought was interesting in onboarding that client and hearing their story was how bars are doing mocktail nights where they literally don't serve anything but non-alcoholic beverages, and they dedicate an entire night to that, which I thought was pretty interesting. I'm not a bar owner or manager, but just the fact that that's happening is interesting, right? Because that's kind of, I never heard of that, and never thought that a bar.
Yeah, we've heard about like some of the participants here, just the fact that they are selling non-alc or mocktails with cocktails, so that people who don't drink can feel like they can go out with their friends. But I haven't heard about the idea of actually shutting off the alcohol flow, which I guess is just a way to market to people who don't want to be tempted.
Yeah, for sure. And it makes sense because there's an audience for it. But yeah, the fact that I just thought it was interesting that this is happening, and we'll probably see more of it, where they dedicate an entire night to just mocktails.
I guess it would depend on how the sales are, right?
Sure.
If they really are generating, equal or greater revenue.
Yeah, and obviously that night's got to be marketed different than any other night of the week, I'm sure. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, this brand, their goal is to be in the rail next to real gin. So when somebody wants a Negroni, but they don't want the alcohol, they can just have their alcohol, their regular Negronis for the first 2 drinks, and then maybe they switch to this product for the last.
They have what else besides gin do they do? Are they doing?
They have an Aperol, they have a gin, they're coming out with a bourbon, and a tequila. But right now they're leading with the gin. And their brand, they're coming out of the ground. Like the product is just available last week. So it's fun. It's the kind of work we love with working with brand new brands like that are coming out of the ground is always super fun. So yeah, just the non-alc was really what I had
on Zoom. What is it?
So Sherman, what's
I've already been on it for a half hour, probably be another half hour or so. Okay. What about that baby?
Here we go. All right, Sherman, now we've muted Fred.
All right. Good to see everybody. Paula, how exciting. I love it. Are you in town next week, Paula? I'm here in your area. I'm thinking about coming down and having lunch if you got any time next 2 weeks.
Making sure it's this Pixie, because there were 2 Paulas. Yes, no, I'm here. I am in town.
I'll shoot you an email.
Okay, thanks, Sherman.
Awesome. Things are going well, Michael. We're on track. I think by the end, first of all, happy Cinco. This is literally another Christmas day for a marketing firm. So, we're slammed with plenty of work this weekend. Each month seems to be a little better than the last. I assume that's the case for most of you guys because the market's there, samplings are being done, activations are being done. We're on track. I think by the end of June, we'll be flirting with 100 events a month right here in Nashville. And that's our target for the near term. And we have brands now really stepping up to ask for use of the software and introducing their on-premise accounts to be onboarded. There are a couple of names I could share, but I'll wait till things are inked and announce what we're doing with those folks. But people are starting to get it. We continue to tweak code and improve things, and it's really important work. So I'm really thrilled. We're seeing a lot of new brands as well, Brian. Just a lot of really nascent, out of the gate, pretty well funded operations that are anxious to go to market. Some of them know what to do. They've got experienced teams, and you probably see this like we do. Some don't know the first thing about the alcohol channel. They made some money, and instead of buying a winery or a horse racing operation to lose money in, they've decided they can build a brand and go national with it. So it's always kind of fun to see who seems to know what they want to do and those who don't have a clue. But you're out there, but it's going well. I'm here out east this month, working in North Myrtle Beach, hopefully covering some territory and onboarding some restaurants, and it's going pretty well. We've grown. We've hired 2 staffers. The most important probably announcement I could make since the last time we got together is my youngest daughter called me and said, I'm going to be a grandfather in November. So yeah, well,
Congratulations.
get back to real life, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's actually why I'm going to be up in New York at the end of June, because my daughter's due with her second, and we're going to go up there and
There you
camp
go.
out
I do
until
have
the baby.
I do have one quick question about the bottle stuff we were talking about earlier. Fred might be able to answer this. Do the paper composition bottles, I saw pretty much a uniform shape. Are there other shapes that are available?
We need to unmute him. Fred, you're muted. Like we did it.
Unmute.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, right now it's just the Bordeaux bottle. There are some other shapes in the pipeline, but for structural reasons, I mean, this is really solid structure. But there's innovation going on as we speak for other sizes.
I was curious,
and
I think that was fresh on my mind because of Campari's announcement about their redesigned bottle that I saw. It's pretty elegant, pretty beautiful in my opinion, and I was just curious. Yeah,
I know it's there's a lot going on the R&D side, but there's every winery that we speak to or spirit, you go to their website and everything is about sustainability, and one of the best ways to do it, it does detract. I don't think you're going to put a Chateau de Kim in a paper bottle, but for your everyday Whole Foods or Trader Joe's customer, especially the younger generation, this makes sense. But it's got to be good. I would imagine it's the same with the spirits. It's got to taste fantastic. Otherwise, what's the point?
What's
Fred,
the weight difference of the glass bottle versus your bottle?
What's that?
What's the weight difference?
Well, this weighs about half of the lightest glass bottle available in the market today. This is 186 grams. And the lightest bottle is about 340 grams. So basically it cuts the weight almost in half. So even just imagine what that would do on an airline or a cruise line, which in this case, in a cruise line, they go to Jamaica and they have, I don't know, thousands of bottles of glass that they have to leave in Jamaica. They never deteriorate. You can burn these in their incinerator. And most people don't care because they just want the liquid inside.
Fred, this is a point I've kind of brought up with I've flagged it to Paula, and it kind of it's not in their plans, but the size, the bottle size, I really think they should have a 1 liter bottle size. For particularly round spirits, because for travel retail, because all of the travel retail, the duty-free allowances are all in units of 1 liter. So basically travel retail guys, you go talking to anyone in travel retail and they want a 1 liter bottle. Or the second choice would be a a 0.5 liter bottle. So.
A half liter. Yeah, I think, as long as it's in this sort of shape, the scalability of another, couple of inches higher and wider is fine. But yeah, no, I agree. And, as a lot of they started out mainly with the wine, but I mean, the spirit business has grown so much. And, there's a marketing hesitancy. But it reminds me a little bit about when, everybody decided that maybe we should put wine in a screw cap 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And boy, they didn't, there was just all of New Zealand had to do it at one time. Otherwise, but, look at it, look how it's been accepted now. I think it'll be the same with this and multiple packages, even for olive oil. But, so many people associate the weight and look of a bottle with the quality of what's inside. So, there are challenges, but you know what? It's a huge market. And so, yeah, I'll follow up and be good to keep on this thing because, at the end of the day, people like myself and all of us here are on the, on the front line of, getting response from customers as to what they might want.
Very cool. I appreciate that. We need to get Paula's machinery up so I can get the 750 bottle to put our Delta 9 simple syrup in.
Sure.
Michael,
Sherman, and are you based in Nashville?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in Huntsville.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah. I went down there a couple of months ago. I'll come down and hang sometime. That'd be a good time. We'll go to one of our accounts.
I'll get your email from somewhere, but we'll go from there.
And if you guys do know anybody that we are doing all CBD and THC beverages, so we have a great program for mocktails and non-alcoholic, even just seltzers or spritzers or waters, because we have a patent on dissolvable THC that's water soluble. So I would love the opportunity to work with anybody that wants to create even CBD bitters or other items that they could add to their bar for enhancing their cocktails.
Paula, yes, I do have some people that I think it'd be good to connect with. So I'll follow up with you later on as well.
That'd be great.
Fred, where are those produced?
What's that?
Your bottles?
The bottles right now are being produced. They're all being produced in England until our plant is up and going. I don't know if you heard before, but it takes about a year.
I listened to it, but I didn't.
Yeah, and so what we're doing is we're partnering with Monterey Wine Company that does about 1 million cases of wine, and they also have a distillery license for spirits. Again, it's in the middle. It's within 200 miles of 80% of all California wineries. So the idea is for the wineries who want to test the frugal, they don't have to buy a $2 million plant. They just want to get something local that they can either send bladders down to Monterey to fill up the bottles with their wine, or we can adapt some of their own filling lines to be able to handle empty frugal bottles. And I'd be happy to follow up with anybody and go into a little bit more detail. But right now there aren't, the only plants that's in existence and producing are a couple in Europe, one in England, and one coming up in Canada towards the end of the year, and then ours in California. And then maybe we could also do something with you, Paula. It sounds like you'd be perfect for the East Coast.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Eric, anything else you want to tell us about what's going on in your world? Well, actually, I haven't gone to Ernesto yet either, but we'll check with him in a minute.
All right. Yeah, so I too have been on the road for my paying job. So the last 3 weeks I've been in Omaha, Norway, and LA. So I'm not sure which damn time zone I'm in right now. But I'll tell you, I had an experience at a distillery in Oslo, and I tend towards, I'm a bourbon drinker, but I tend towards sweet cocktails if I'm going to have one. And I tapped into my Baltic roots when on their menu they had a smoked beetroot cocktail, martini, and they got me at Mezcal, and it was one of these like great experiences where I couldn't tell where the beat ended and the Mezcal began, and it just kept swirling in my mouth. I was like, this is an experience I'm having here. So having a tough time convincing everyone in my shop, hey, let's play around with something stupid like that. They're like, that sounds disgusting. I'm like, no, come on, it's gonna be great. So so that part was fun, and I guess a big win for me. I got a pretty good canning contract for RTDs from my biggest competitor in the state. So I ended up improving their RTDs with some of my ingredients. And so now it looks like, you know, they were talking about quarterly runs. I already did one for them in April. We just booked a May one, and after they beat me up a little bit on pricing, they committed to a June one too. So nice to have a little cash flow. We are definitely on the, you know, kind of the struggling side of cash flow, having bought the business in the middle of COVID. So that was nice. That kind of offsets how much money the members have to put in from our personal bank accounts to keep things floating.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good to have a paid.
Can you reach out to me on the side?
What's that?
Could you reach out to me on the side?
See
Yeah,
what happens.
that's what I got going.
I try to help with cash flow.
No?
So I have a plan.
All right.
Yes, Paula's got cash flow now. That's good. Ernesto, what's new in your world besides Cinco de Mayo and a good hat?
Hi, good morning. We've got the matching hats today. Nothing today. I mean, I just got back from Mexico actually on Wednesday to be here for events Wednesday, Thursday, yesterday, tonight, tomorrow, all weekend. Cinco de Mayo stuff going on all over the place. I mean, it's ridiculous for us. We've got a bunch of events that we're doing tasting. I got my suppliers of everybody scattered all over the place today. Today we've got about 9 or 10 different tastings going on this afternoon at different liquor stores that have their on-premise tastings, restaurants, bars, stuff like that. So it's a party. It's party weekend, party day. Other than that, you know, we're just moving forward. You know, what I'm drinking today is raicilla. I don't know if anybody knows about raicilla. It's from the highlands, not from the highlands, from the mountains of Jalisco. So it's different. It's a type of, they consider it a type of mezcal, but it has the denomination of origin for the state of Jalisco, made with 7 different types of agave, or anything other than blue, that grows endemically in the state of Jalisco. Pretty good stuff. This is a punta, so it's 55% alcohol, single distillation. So
Nice.
yeah, and it's kind of early over here. It's barely 9:30 in the morning, so it is kind of early, but yeah, we got a big day. You know, just chugging on, moving forward. As far as the tequila goes, we don't see it stopping. We got retailers pushing us back, like I mentioned, I think last time, you know, on our price points, which have not gone up in the last year. But you know, we get the complaints. You know, we have a really good relationship with our retailers here, and they're like, Ernesto, so what's going on? Why do you guys why is this tequila? I think they wanted to drop. Prices went up during COVID, right? And they're expecting a drop. You know, and I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, everything's still up. The agave is still expensive, you know, and production is just, everything that's being produced is being sold. You know, there's really nowhere in sight do we see that the tequila category is going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Well, I don't think price drops are always hard to reverse.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, you know, with our bottleneck, you know, talking so much today about bottles, you know, I love the idea of the sustainability and stuff like that of these bottles. You know, I think it'd be really cool to be able to see if we could do, if any, I don't know, we could do something with the agave fibers. You know, once it's crushed, because we do the labels. You know, like these labels here on the Tequila Xoloscuincle, they're labels that are made with the bagazo of the agave. I don't know if you can tell, but you got you could see the fibers in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so paper's being made, recycling the all the fibers that are left over when you crush the agave. And most of it, I really don't know any numbers or anything like that, but most of that just goes back into the fields. They use it for like to fertilize the agave fields for later. So I think it'd be really cool, interesting to see if those types of bottles can be made with these fibers somehow. So that's something that I've got going on, writing down a bunch of notes here. Figure out. We talked to some engineers at the distilleries. They know a bunch of stuff. See if something that's feasible.
Fred, you have a little assignment, a little to do to figure out. I noticed one of the things that struck me when I was looking at the bottle. I know you've shown us some of your ceramic bottles previously, and one of the things was that it was all right. And 100% of the bottle is design.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same thing you could do with the with the frugal.
Exactly. Yeah, I was seeing what was put up, that it's all printed all the way around, which would be great. I mean, it's something that's innovative, and I really think it would be a really good. I mean, because people love those bottles here. When we tell them, oh, it's recycled agave fibers, like, oh, really? And they start touching it, stuff like that. So if there would be the full bottle, we'll say, oh, and by the way, the bottle's made with the same fibers of the tequila that's made inside. It'd be like, I think it would blow people's minds, really.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Any other final notes, final topics we want to throw open forum?
I'm sure I could reach out and talk to him, but I didn't catch what the frugal pack is. What do you buy? Do you end up buying assembled paper bottles with the filler? Do they have to fill? Can I fill on my site? How's that all work out? I didn't need to buy that $2 million piece of equipment, did I?
No, Eric's, yeah, as I said, well, the bottles right now are made in England.
Yep.
And they are shipped over here empty. And they're filled either locally or whoever has a filling. Some of them are filled by hand because most of the customers that are here are just testing their water. So they're bringing in maybe a container of empty bottles, which weigh nothing. I could lift a pallet of these bottles with one hand. But the idea obviously is to put a plant where the demand is, which is in this case, California, for the wineries. Who could then we would you do all the marketing side, get a TTB approval, and we then fill with your product and ship it to yourself or to your distributors.
Okay.
So, but until the plant is up and going, it is shipping empty. But it's the same thing as shipping Chinese glass to wineries in California, containers of empty glass.
But I don't necessarily have the ability to fill those at my filling station, right?
No. So the thing is with Monterey, they have multiple filling lines. We do about 1 million cases and make wine for a number of brands. So filling, and we also have a distillery license. So it's licensed, and to tweak it to get it right has been what we've been working on with Frugal in the UK, so that because these are very light, if they're going down a line, they're all jiggling around and mispouring. So to get it right, it takes a trick, and all those adoptions to the line we've perfected, and so we can fill whatever liquid you want in the bottles accurately, and then basically reship them anywhere you want. I mean, it's the same outer case, and it'll be half the weight.
Yeah. Neat. Thanks.
So it's ideal. You think about festivals, working with Levi's, the big and the stadiums, the Raiders. We've got a whole lot of stuff going on. You could have some really bad looking bottles out there. But so, yeah. And I don't know, Michael, if you could share our emails to everybody, because that would be great to follow up, and at least.
I think, Stephanie, aren't they on the list for today?
Yeah, Fred,
Okay.
Yep, you should have received it, but I'm going to be redistributing all of that.
Yeah, well, that'd be great. Yeah, because, yeah.
Do me a favor, pop your email address into the chat if you would, just to make sure we have the right one down.
That's a good idea.
I got a quick question. How do the bottles hold up with the mist pours, like you were saying? If the liquors is poured on
Yeah,
top,
no, yeah.
does it stay together? Does it come apart? Does it?
No. That's been the trick. The trick of the technology is that it has to be perfect. I mean, it is paper at the end of the day, so you don't want any drips on it. These can also go into the chiller in some accounts, like for white wines, and it holds up. But no, the devil is in the detail, as they say, and pouring it and filling it accurately is the real challenge. But we have that, so any brand can rest assured that their product is going to go out and be delivered to the customer accurately, and it'll look perfect.
Okay, but what about the consumer themselves dropping that bottle into an ice chest to go out to the beach?
Well, you wouldn't put it in an ice chest.
Would it come apart and you just end up with a little bag?
No, it wouldn't. I mean, it's meant for, obviously a single use, but for the wine, it's fine if it's for a short distance. But if you put it in a champagne cup and with ice on it, it is cardboard.
Okay.
But it's for the refrigerator, is fine.
Cardboard bottle.
Yeah.
For any of you guys who are filling at smaller scale, so filling with a hand filler, something like that, you can fill out this and use an ROPP standalone ROPP capper for them. So we have a 4-head hand filler, and that's what we're going to look at using for this. We don't have a filling line per se.
Has anyone suggested maybe having an outer plastic sleeve that would allow it to? Because I do think with white wines, what Ernesto's talking about is going to be an issue for a lot of end users.
I think that kind of defeats the whole sustainability purpose of it. But maybe it's something that you could get as a reusable sleeve or something for putting into.
Yeah, I imagine if you did have like a plastic sleeve. I mean, but right now there hasn't been any issues on that in particular. I know our Italian producers and the Spanish producers, they started out with frugal 2 years ago. They were doing one winery was doing 10,000 bottles of the same brand in glass. They started doing frugal, and they're still doing 10,000 bottles in glass, but now they're up to 70,000 in the paper offering. And so that's good to know, because you could always sell it once. It's when they come back and repeat the purchase that you're onto something. But as I said, the R&D side of things, to be able to put it take it to the beach in a cooler full of ice,
right?
That's
What was the brand that you said that's already here in California? I'm gonna go out and look for it right now. I'm gonna go.
Well, no, there are different brands. There's one called Signal 7. Signal 7. They're out of Michigan. The PLCB has just brought in a container of, I forget another brand, but if you send me an email, which I'm going to share here with Stephanie, I can either get you some filled samples or get you something. Where are you based, Ernesto?
Sure, that's great. I'm in Los Angeles County.
Oh, perfect. That's great. But we can get you something. We're just down the road.
Okay.
Or up the road. Yeah, we're in King City, in Monterey.
Okay, you're in Monterey. All right, cool. Yeah, for sure.
Right, can you share any social links so we can help support you?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll
do that.
A handful of clients that would be all over this.
Yeah. Is it Ryan? Are you Ryan? Ryan?
I answered all of them, but it's fine.
Where are you based?
Vegas.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we're working right there with Southern on some projects. So
You know Clyde Burney?
I do know Clyde, another Kiwi.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no, he's my buddy from a while back.
That was the only person I knew when I moved here, and it was not a bad, it was not.
Oh, well, I'll have to tell him. I want to talk to him later on today.
Yeah, he's great. But yeah, I'll support you in any way and try to introduce.
That'd be great. Okay. I'm going to send it now. I hope let me just see. How do I press send? Just send, I suppose. Enter. Did you get it?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Mm,
we had a different address for you, so I'll be
Well, yeah,
sure
that was my personal one, because like this one's it takes a lot of typing.
trust me, I understand.
Oh, I know. I'm going, and I don't know if Monterey has 2 T's or 2 R's.
That's funny.
Spell check.
Yeah.
Well, Fred, thank you. And
Okay.
so
Thanks so very much. Yeah.
For sharing insights, and I think it's and Michael, thank you for making the connection. Hopefully we've all learned a bit, and hopefully some business done out of this, which would be great.
So hopefully
excellent.
I've reduced my price for my frugal pack bottles.
There you go. Negotiating.
Go.
Done your part, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Your commission. You get your commission. Well, I want to thank everybody for sharing the kicking off Cinco de Mayo together. Hope everyone has a safe and semi-sober holiday. And the next time we gather will be June 2nd.
June 2nd, correct. And everyone will see the contact information and the recording of the session come out later today. Not that you'll be watching it, but be sure to follow up. Happy Cinco.
Hey, one thing, Stephanie, I forgot to put Fred O.
Not a problem. I will.
Can you change it to Fred O at Monterey Wine?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can.
That's easy. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Cheers, guys.
All right.
All right.
Everybody.
All right, take care.
Happy Derby Day too.
Hey, yeah,
Cheers.
that's right. And
Thanks.
long live the king.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
In coronation.
Busy weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Salud. Bye.
Hello.
Salud.